Hey, welcome to Queens Talking Reality. I am Elisa
Farah.
and we are here to do a recap of The Real Housewives of New Jersey, one of my favorite franchises. And thank you guys for tuning in. But before we go ahead, please don't forget to leave a comment down below, like, subscribe, put your alerts on, do all that stuff, and just support us. It's free, and we appreciate you. So let's get down to it and engage. Let's go.
Going live. Hey, let's get right into it. Let's not waste any time. This is season 13, episode 2. It's called Family. Yeah, that's what it's called. And it opens up for where it left off, from episode 1, with Jennifer and Dolores going at it. Jennifer storms out of the house with her husband, and the ladies are stuck talking to Dolores about Jennifer really wanting to be her friend. That's what they feel. They feel like, Jennifer really wants to be Dolores.
And I do believe that. I just feel like Jennifer needs to kind of like hone in on within herself and realize like her faults. Because I don't think she's taking responsibility for the issues that she caused within like the breakdown of their relationship. And she seems to like want Dolores to kiss her ass in order to like, she wants Dolores to apologize. And Dolores really doesn't care to apologize. She said what she said about like Marge bringing up the whole affair with Bill. Like Marge had a right to defend herself and bring up the affair. Like leave it alone. That's between you and Marge. Like she should just leave Dolores out of it. But it's like she's looking for something from Dolores that Dolores is not going to give. And Jennifer needs to really get over it. And we'll get into the next scene where Marge tells Jennifer like she needs help. And I do believe that like she needs therapy, like intense therapy to get those, like she has this misdirected anger.
So as a new viewer, and I'm going to keep saying this so everybody doesn't jump at me when I make certain comments because I don't know the history. And the fact that being a new viewer, I know some people are like, oh, she's new. Why is she talking about the show and she doesn't know the history? I think it's good because I'm starting fresh. And I'm judging the women by what I'm seeing. I don't know the history. But by looking at episode 1, episode 2, I don't like Jennifer. She looks like the needy friend. She looks like she pushes friendships. And she looks like she does. Sometimes she's not that good of a friend and she doesn't take accountability for action. She doesn't listen, and she perceives whatever someone else tells her in a negative way and make it all about her.
And you're absolutely right. As a new viewer, you picked up on like you summed it up right then and there because that is Jennifer. Like she's looking, she's very needy.
Correct. And I'm not getting from the confrontation she had with Dolores. I'm getting it from the conversation that led to an argument between her and Marge, which we'll talk about later on that happened in the episode. But right now, I'm not a fan of the one-legged Jennifer lady.
Yeah, and I do think that without Teresa, I think between Teresa and Jennifer, like they seem to be kind of like the black sheep of the cast. And I do think that Teresa can hold her own. But I think if Jennifer did not have Teresa and being a part of that whole black sheep and, them against everyone else, I don't think Jennifer would have been fired a long time ago. Like, I just think her whole role is having Teresa's back and being on an island by themselves. And I think without Teresa, Jennifer wouldn't even be on the show. She has nothing really to give without Teresa.
Yeah, she reminds me of somebody that was easily bullied and went home and cried. No backbone. So, Teresa, next scene was Teresa talking up to, I guess, the wedding planner on FaceTime about her wedding. That scene was very hard for me to watch because Teresa's face. I don't know what the woman did to her face. There was one time I thought she was an attractive woman. She did way too much to her face. Her face looks very fish-like, swollen, and she looks terrible with her makeup. My opinion, you don't like it.
I don't think it's what she's done to her face. I think it's the lip injections. I think because I'll usually see it on TV, but when I went to BravoCon and I didn't see her personally because when I missed her, I forgot where I was. She might have been coming the next day, and I didn't go the next day. But the one I did get to see, a lot of women that went to BravoCon, a lot of them have lip injections. So I was on a line with a lot of them, and I saw the lip injections up close, not Teresa's, but just regular women. And it gives off like an allergic reaction look. Like it doesn't look like fillers. It looks like an allergic reaction up close. And I think that's what is the problem with Teresa. She's putting too much in and it's looking like bubblish, like a reaction.
Face. You're right. She looks like she's allergic to nuts. Had it and it's bad. It looks terrible. Sorry, who doesn't like it? Too bad. If you like Teresa, her face look horrendous.
Yeah.
In that scene. Because I did see and watch What Happened Lives. It didn't look as bad. But again, when you're doing these scenes, sometimes the lighting is the lighting in your house. Sometimes you don't realize you don't have the right makeup. Sometimes your makeup artist didn't get to give you some of your, extra foundation, whatever it was. Not a good.
And I do think when you do get these injections, Botox or whatever, I think you got to give it like a week or two to settle in. Like maybe coming on camera and she didn't get the stuff to settle in.
Correct. They rush like, I'm gonna do my fillers and be on camera tomorrow. Look, and then it's like blowfish. Not a good look. So they go into showing Melissa and Joey, and Melissa feels she welcomed Joey, and that she's very unhappy that he called her insecure. I mean, she's very stuck on him calling her insecure.
Oh, you mean Louis called
calling her insecure. Melissa's very stuck on him calling her insecure. I mean,
I will be stuck on that too. Like, I think their whole issue is she's having her brother's back as far as like the breakdown of their relationship. She is kind of being supportive. And if somebody called me insecure, I would have a problem with that too. Like, because I don't think Melissa's insecure at all. And I watched her podcast and she said the same thing. And she doesn't give me insecure vibes at all. So I don't know I just think Louis just throwing that out there. At least if you're going to throw something out there, like make it have some kind of validity to it. Like, I just think like, what makes her insecure? What was the reason? Did he tell? Did he say? No.
Yeah. Or insecure about her marriage. She didn't say, I don't think so.
He's not to me.
Again, judging from what I'm seeing from episode 2, it seems like Joey, Teresa's brother, wants to reconcile, wants to have a relationship with his sister. Yeah. He's in a lot of pain. Right now, I am believing what Melissa is saying. I don't know the history, but a lot of the stuff that Melissa is saying about Teresa, she seems very adamant about what she's saying. Like, this is what you're doing, Teresa. Really? You're lying right now? And Teresa, I don't know if I really believe her.
I don't believe Teresa in that moment with the invitation to sit at the tables.
We'll get to that.
I believe that Teresa is lying. And I don't know if she is, because like Teresa is another one. We spoke about that on the other podcast. I feel that Teresa is not that bright. Like, so I do think a lot of things she does, it's like, I don't even think she's aware of some of her actions and some of the things that she does. It's like no one's there holding her accountable. She doesn't have friends that's holding her accountable. Everybody that tries to hold her accountable, she's cutting them off, like going at their neck, chopping their heads off. Like, so she doesn't take like accountability well. So I just think, I don't even know if she really is aware that she is lying. I don't think she's bright enough to know.
Yeah. So right now I am siding with Joey and Melissa. I actually like Melissa. From what I'm seeing again in episode 2, I might change my mind. I'm not team Teresa for now. I mean, I could change my mind later on, but from episode 2, I'm team Teresa. And not Teresa. Oh my God. Team Melissa. Yeah. So the next scene was Danielle visiting Jennifer's house. I like Danielle. I think she's new this season. Is she? She's not new? She's a new?
Yeah, she's new. Danielle's new. Yes.
I like her honesty. I like her personality. She looks fun. She's straight up like, oh, your house is beautiful. And there was a part, she's like, oh my God, my house is not as big as everyone else.
I love that too.
My house is just cute. And that was the first thing, like, oh, it's cute. So I like her for now. She's one of my, people
Yeah,
that.
she doesn't seem like, I like a woman who can give another woman props for their accomplishments and their what they like attained, whether
Yes.
it's like, career wise or like,
Good for
luxury.
her.
So I do like that she gave her props, and it was like in a fun way. It wasn't like in a hateful way, like, oh, you got haha, like on Beverly Hills when they went into Heather's house on Beverly Hills, and I felt like it was kind of like hate, like, oh my God, there's pictures of you everywhere. Like, but like I just love the way Danielle came off in that scene.
Yeah, I liked her in that scene. That made me like, oh, okay. She was like, oh my God, this house is beautiful. I liked her.
And I said Heather on Beverly Hills, but I meant Heather on Orange
Orange
County.
County.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't catch that. So Jennifer then talks to Danielle, and they were kind of talk about her relationship with Dolores, and she mentions that a woman who is ex-friends of Marge reached out to her and Teresa that she wanted to meet with them to talk about gossip or tea that she has on Marge. And later on in the episode, it seems that they did end up meeting up with this woman, Laura.
Yeah, they did. And it was like, I mean, it's unfortunate because like Marge said, she did apologize. Like, this should have been water under the bridge, but y'all still like trying to find some type of like ammo to come at, like to kind of bury Marge. Like, just like leave it alone, like already. Like, she apologized. Like, we still going at it? Really?
Now, would you have met with this woman, Laura? If you're
I
Teresa
think
or Jennifer?
I do believe I don't, if somebody, if I forgive somebody, I'm really going to, if they give me a heartfelt apology and they're trying to make amends and they're making an effort, I would not meet with them. And if I would probably even tell Marge, like, listen, girl, like somebody called me and want to meet with me and all, like, and I would make a joke about it, or I would let her know, but I don't think I would, because it's like, if I forgive somebody, I forgive them, and I'm gonna try to be their friend. But it looks like Jennifer still has some type of like bad feelings toward Jennifer. Jennifer has bad feelings toward Marge.
Yeah, I don't think I would have. And what secrets are you going to tell me about this woman that I really care about?
Well, I think it's not even the fact of caring. I just think they want to have some kind of ammo against Margaret to like throw at her, like in the show, like, because they still didn't get over the fact. Not even Jennifer has not gotten over the fact that Marge brought out her, Bill's affair, her husband's affair. I don't think she's ever going to get over that. And it's like she's looking for something that, like, it kind of dug up feelings, I guess, during that time when he cheated on her. She was pregnant. So I just think Jennifer has never gotten over it. And I still think she needs to go to therapy, even if it was 10 years ago. She claims she's over it. She says she loves her husband. They have the best relationship. I do think Bill is a good man, but I don't think that Jennifer's really over the affair.
Well, if I were to try to mend my relationship with someone, I wouldn't go and find out.
I wouldn't either.
About the for ammo, and if I found out my so-called friend or someone I'm trying to reconcile my friendship would do that, I would X them out.
Exactly. That, and hopefully Margaret will see like that, it's time to do that.
Yeah. So then they talked about Rachel, which is also a newbie, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
And her husband and 2 kids under the age of 3. I have no interest.
I didn't either. I was like, once they start showing kids, and like, I'm like, okay, we need more from you. It's nice. I guess they setting us up, like showing her inside, her reality. But let's get to the meat and potatoes of who you are.
Nothing
beside the kids. I don't want to see little kids on the screen.
Yeah, stepmom. I mean, nothing of where I'm like, oh, okay, nothing. So now the women, not all of them, went to Marge's house to get like a get together or brunch type of thing, and they decided to play a game, a sex game, and there was just nothing of interest. I think
a filler scene. I didn't find it a bit amusing at all. Like I didn't get amusement from
Yeah,
that
I mean, I don't
scene.
remember what the two questions were, but they were nothing of interest that we need to talk about.
Yeah, it
And the
was.
ladies basically go in to talk about Teresa and Jennifer, and some of the ladies feel that Jennifer's more dangerous than Teresa. I don't know how, why, but that was their
Because
take
I
on
do think Jennifer is smarter. I think that's what you got to be like more. Jennifer is if coming from a hurt place. And when you hurt and you still trying to come at people and doing this underhanded stuff, like, underneath, like, the radar, and I can't see what you're doing like snake in the grass stuff. I think that is somebody to be, to have that, you know, third eye on. Like Teresa is not that bright. I'm sorry. Like there's some parts about Teresa that I do think is loving, but I don't think she's that bright. So I wouldn't be afraid of her. Like I do think she comes at people. She's throwing tables, throwing tantrums, doing all sorts of stuff. But I just don't think she's like that cunning, and she's not like bright to execute on anything vicious.
it. So then they talk about Dolores. They show Dolores and her boyfriend, and her boyfriend basically said that Frank needs to basically stay out of her life because now he's in the picture. I don't know the history between
I agree.
Dolores and Frank, but apparently it was a little bit too close for comfort for the new boyfriend.
You have an ex-husband and your kids are grown adults. They in their 20s. Why would you need to be speaking to your ex-husband? Would you still be speaking to your ex-husband after your kids are like in their 20s and 30s?
Well, yeah, if it's pertaining to the kids.
Around in your house, chilling, like, having family dinners and stuff. That's what they do.
Oh, no, that's definitely inappropriate.
Walking in and out, coming over, they going to family dinners together. Like he was around, like he was living there at one point. I think he was living there until he moved in. Now he lives, like, it seemed like Frank is weird. Something about him gives off weirdo vibes. Like now he's living with Dolores's ex-boyfriend. Like, so he's kind of like, and I think that they had such a great relationship where the ex-boyfriend accepted Frank and still coming around that they became close friends. So now he's living with the ex-boyfriend and he's expecting Dolores's new boyfriend to be accepting of that too and be like open arms with him. And that's not like this boyfriend's not happening. He's not doing that weirdo stuff.
Yeah, that's a little too weird.
Yeah, who does it?
I thought he had a girlfriend.
He does, but I guess the girlfriend, some of these women, and then, she seems to be a lot younger. She thinks she might be in her 20s or early 30s. He's like probably pushing 60. So, she's getting some limelight from it, I'm sure, the girlfriend. But he does have a girlfriend, but he's always been hanging around Dolores, even, with the kids and without the kids and with her ex-boyfriend. He's just too intertwined into Dolores's life. And a new boyfriend should cut that, like, right away. Like, this is not going to continue if you want to have a marriage.
No, Dolores is wrong. She should have stopped that way before it even got to this point.
Yeah. Thank you, Joanne, for joining us.
Hi. So then everyone receives Teresa's invitation. It was okay. I was not impressed. There was nothing impressive. I've seen way better invitations. I was not impressed with the invitation. There was, I guess because it was real flowers. I don't understand. Oh my God, so beautiful. Oh, wow. There was nothing impressive to me.
I didn't think it was a big deal at all. It was, remember, like, what's somebody else? I think it was did somebody have birds or doves? I forgot who it was, had like doves flying out of the box.
Oh, that was Potomac Karen, but that wasn't a wedding invitation.
Oh, okay.
It was. I think it was her wedding to, maybe it was her wedding to Ray or something. Like when they
like a renewal or something.
That's different. But I don't want to open a pack and nothing flying in my face either. But
yeah, you're gonna have them in a box? Like you having birds? Like where's Peter at? Like to shut this down. Birds in a box. And then for invitation purposes?
They didn't die. But again, I guess everyone was so excited that they got an invitation that it wasn't so much how it looked. It was just that, oh my God, I got invited. I don't know. I didn't see the big deal. So then it goes to Joey and Melissa again. And they agreed what Joey said. He feels Louis is a bad seed. He mentioned how Teresa's first husband was a bad seed. And they went into showing the big debacle, the big brawl they had during a family event. And he feels Louis the same. He's just another bad seed.
Yeah, I kind of like I listened to Melissa's podcast, and Joey was on there. Her husband was on there on her podcast. So I do kind of get what she's saying. Like I think she feels like the way Teresa's going, like this is the hardest Teresa's ever gone, where they completely stop speaking. Like, and I think it's the longest. Like they've had their issues before with Teresa's ex-husband, but they've kind of gotten over it. It seems like this time Teresa is ready to just give up on her brother. She don't want nothing to do with them. You know, she's like just doubling down on like not speaking to them and keeping it that way. And I think that's what's more so hurtful to her brother, like that she's at. And not only that, I think they feel like it's not Teresa by herself that's making that decision. Like maybe Louis like doubling, like standing 10 toes down with her. Like you would want to know, like if me and my brother got into an argument, I would want my husband to kind of either stay out of it, not even just stay out of it, but give me, you know, some advice that's going to keep my family together. Like don't be the driving force behind keeping us apart. So I think they have a feeling like that he's the driving force behind the complete breakdown of their relationship. And I kind of agree with them. I would think the same thing. When people get into fights and I see like they have some significant other and I'm thinking like they're really irrational, I do think your partner should bring that sense of rationale to you where you can think coherently, like, and you don't have like these like, you know, feelings of just disregard for my relationship, my family.
Well, I don't know anything about Louis, but he doesn't have a trusting face. There's something about that man I don't like and I don't trust. I don't like his face. He doesn't have trusting eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I even question if he loves Teresa or if it's for the fame. Something about the man I don't like. I don't know what it is. I don't know the man, but the minute I saw his face, I don't like his face. He doesn't have a trusting face. That's my opinion.
Well, they was on, I don't know if you watched the Watch What Happens Live. I'm sure you didn't. Afterwards.
After Teresa, that outfit.
Yeah. And me, I'm like an expert at body language and reading body language.
See, Miss Expert.
I saw the way, like when Andy started asking questions about like his career and what he's doing now to make money, his body language, because I do watch an expert on YouTube. He's so great with like reading celebrities' body languages. So he always talks about like eyebrows and lips, like together and like being
he don't have a job.
Red. Yeah, basically he don't have a job. I think he's in it. He might be in it for the fame, like, and the, you know, Teresa's fortune. He might be, because when Andy asked him the question about, do you, what is your new business? What is your new career? Because he got let go, pushed out of his old business because of the shenanigans going on.
He had his own business?
He had his own business. And like we was talking about in Potomac, he was like some big CEO or something of the company, and they pushed him out because of whatever was going on last season, because of the whole situation with his ex-wives and ex-girlfriends and stuff. So they pushed him out.
So he had a really good job.
He had a business. He had his own business that was supposedly, I don't know how well they were doing, but he had his own business and they pushed him out. So he didn't have a business. And that's what he was saying last season, that because of Marge and them talking and digging into his past, that his company found out about it and pushed him out. So now he didn't have no company. So that's why Andy asked him on Watch What Happens Live, what are you doing now? And his response was like, his body language, it told me he was lying straight through his teeth. And then he like, that whole Watch What Happens Live, he was holding Teresa's hands, all lovey-dovey. The moment Andy asked that question, he seemed relaxed, like me, like I know, like, you know, I'm an expert, like I said. He was relaxed, he was sitting back, holding her hand. And then he said, oh, I got a business. And he didn't say what business. So then Andy says, oh, okay, so what business is that? And then Louis' response was he immediately grabbed his hand away yanked it from Teresa. He kind of moved forward and he was like, it's in whatever he said, telemarketing. And then you could see his face starting to turn red, his lips, which showed that like once you start getting like a rush of redness, blood to your face, it means that high stress. You're stressed out. You're lying.
Teresa looked uncomfortable too. Like looked at him like, what is he gonna say? And
Yeah,
the fact that they even question if he gave her daughters, fake jewelry,
Cartier
Cartier.
bracelets.
And I'm like, why would they question that was fake?
Because the daughters, the background tea, the daughters went online and showed like the bracelets. Ow, look at the bracelet that he got me. So, the people that's into Cartier and that got money, they was basically like, those are counterfeit bracelets. They fake. So everybody started going in on the bracelets, which I do believe that they were fake. And I just believe like his answer too showed me that it was a lie, that they both were lying. Because he was like, yeah, of course they're real. I don't believe, like, I would like to know, I would love for them to show a scene of them taking these bracelets to the Cartier store to verify if they are real, because I don't believe that they are. And I don't think Teresa would even show that on TV.
I think they're fake too. And the fact that they question, I think Teresa knows they were fake. After everyone settled when he gave it, I don't know, he couldn't afford it, he wanted it. And I don't know her kid's age. She probably feel like, I could give them bracelets. What's the big deal? They won't know the difference, real or not.
I think he probably bought it from like, somebody on the block, and was probably like, somebody opened up their coat. Hey, I got Cartier bracelets. I'm sure he knew that they were fake.
He purchased it knowing they were fake, thinking if I give it to these girls, they won't know the difference anyway. They don't know. They showing off on Instagram and they got caught. I think it's fake. And I think Teresa, after confronted him, he's like, yeah, babe, they ain't real. So I agree. But like I said, I don't trust them. But going back to what you said, I agree. If you're in a relationship with someone, and it depends, I mean, how much you want to get involved. If I'm in a relationship with someone and they're having problems with a sibling or whatever, I'm the type of person that would try to resolve it. Like, I won't jump in and maybe talk to the sibling because they may not want me to, but I would be that one to talk to my niece and be like, look, babe, maybe you should really talk to your sister or your brother, or do you want me to reach out to them? I'm always trying to keep the peace in the family. And there are women, and Teresa could be one of those. Like, I got my man, I got his family, I'm good. I don't need them over there. Some people, when they get married, and it seems like Louis has a sister, has his mom, or whoever else, she now feels she has a family foundation. She doesn't need her brother and Melissa because she has that now from Louis.
I agree.
And some women do that. They drop their whole family, go visit until shit goes bad, and now she's going to be running back to her brother. So she might be at that place that I don't need them. I have a family now.
I think she does. And I think the reason why I think she got along, she tolerated Teresa. Teresa tolerated Melissa. And of course, I do believe that Teresa really loves her brother. And they grew up together. I think they always had a tight relationship. I think it was until he married Melissa is when their relationship started to kind of go sideways. And I do believe that Teresa's always been jealous of Melissa. I feel like, and Melissa's not like kissing her ass that the way that Teresa would like her to kiss her ass. Like, I believe that Melissa's just doing her. She's living her happy life. Her and her brother, Teresa's brother, I believe that they are really happy. Like, Melissa and her husband. And I believe that Teresa has been jealous of that. And I believe that Teresa believes that maybe Melissa's in it too to take her brother's money. I think that's what initially she felt, that Melissa was after her brother's money. And now it's proven like that she probably, they have love for each other. So of course he has money, she gonna have money too. He married her. So I do believe that Teresa has been jealous of that relationship. I don't think she's jealous in like a romantic way, like she wants her brother. No, but I do believe that she's jealous because he really does love Melissa. And I believe that, maybe her brother's attention is on mostly Melissa instead of the sister-brother relationship. And Teresa's been jealous of that.
Yeah, and I bet you if Melissa was very successful, Teresa would be more jealous. But at this point, he married her. They have kids. She seems to be a good wife, a good mother. Leave it alone. That's how I see it. So now Danielle has a gathering at her house. Another gathering. This one, I think they were making mozzarella. It looked like, was it mozzarella sticks? That's what it looks like to me. I'm not Italian. It looked like it was mozzarella sticks they were making. Cheese for mozzarella sticks.
Yeah. That's a big deal in Italian, in Italian families making
Whatever it was, to me, it was
Mozzarella.
Oh, mozzarella. When I read it, it said mozzarella. So I was thinking mozzarella sticks. So Teresa then explains to the ladies that Ramona posted her invitation online. I would have been pissed at Ramona. But
She was.
She put in the invitation, I guess, with the address there too.
Yeah, and Teresa didn't want the paparazzi and people to know. And Ramona went on live with the whole invitation and where it's at. She showed it. Of course, people gonna screenshot it now. All the paparazzi know about it, so they're gonna show up. They already planned, and she didn't want it. She wanted it to be like under a secret occasion.
So she had to change the whole venue.
I think she had to change the date. It was something. I know she had to put out money. She had to change I think it was the date or something she had to change. That cost her I don't think it cost a tremendous amount because it was something that she covered. I think if it was a lot of money, she would have caused more of a big deal. But I think she just did something else, to send out new invitations or did something else.
Yeah, she
to kind of throw the pop
differently. If they know the venue, the date, she probably changed the date, I'm thinking.
Yeah, maybe it was the date. She just did change something that didn't cost that much. It cost her money, but it wasn't that much.
I would have disinvited Ramona.
And she didn't even show up. Ramona didn't even show up. She showed the invitation and didn't even show up.
Well, maybe Teresa didn't disinvited her.
No, because she said it on her podcast.
Uninvited her. Okay.
No, she invited her and she never showed up. She gave declined the invitation.
So then Dolores was there, the ladies were there. They talk about Dolores and her situation with Jennifer. And Dolores has basically said to told Teresa, stop sticking up for that CUNT.
See you next Tuesday. See you next Tuesday. They call it see you next Tuesday. That's
what she's called, Jennifer.
Yes.
So basically Teresa, stay out of it.
And she's right. I just think that Teresa is trying to have her friends back. She knows Jennifer is needy. Like I said in the beginning of this episode, that Teresa and Jennifer seem to be kind of on an island by themselves. It's like them two against everybody. And when I do think they burned their own bridges, to have these relationships. So I think that that's always their initial reaction, is to kind of have each other's back, Jennifer and Teresa. So I think Dolores is right to kind of go at Teresa, don't have her back. She should be setting her friend right. If you know your friend is doing something wrong, don't try to be some kind of peacemaker and say little things like I'm doing something wrong. No, tell your friend what she's doing wrong. You know what she's doing and how she's acting is wrong. Dolores should not be a part of this. So, Teresa not speaking up and just trying to have Jennifer's back. Once again, I think a lot of them, including Dolores, is kissing Teresa's ass. There's no way I would have a friend like Teresa who's sticking up for this girl. Dolores and Teresa has been like this. They was friends from little.
Mm.
So initially, you didn't see the last season, but initially Teresa didn't even have Dolores in her wedding. She had Jennifer in her wedding. She didn't even have, and Dolores was okay with it. She was like, oh yeah, I'm not in the wedding. I'm okay with it. And it was really? And I remember thinking to myself, really, Dolores, you really not mad? And Jennifer is in a wedding, a girl she just met and you grew up with Joey and Teresa. And then eventually at the last 11th hour, Teresa puts Dolores in the wedding. We don't have the background as to why she put Dolores in the wedding at the last minute, which I would have declined if I was Dolores, because I'm definitely going to have my own back if you're not gonna have my back. She was in the wedding at the last minute. So that's what I'm saying. I just think Dolores takes it, everybody takes it so easy on Teresa. She's sitting there taking up for this girl against somebody you grew up with. I would be livid if my friend did that to me, that I grew up with, and you taking this girl's back and you know she's wrong. And you're just trying to play mediator. There's no mediation when it comes to having my back. You're not going to mediate this when I grew up with you.
Totally agree. Can't argue there. So, of course, everybody comes in, everyone's keeping the peace, no one's saying anything, and they start making the cheese, and the women get turned on by the guy making the cheese.
Mm-hmm.
That lets me know they're not getting anything at home. Who the hell? I mean, I wouldn't be turned on by a guy making cheese. They were pretty turned on by that. He was a good-looking guy that making cheese. The next one was finally Marge confronts Jennifer about contacting her ex-best friend Laura. And I'm on Marge's side about this. She basically said that Jennifer needs help. And Jennifer just twisted everything around instead of listening to what Marge is saying and take accountability and saying, look, I was very wrong. I'm sorry for what I said. She was basically attacking Marge back as to basically, why are you even saying this? I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, like I just believe that this is another case of why is Margaret like going in on Jennifer about it. And I do think Jennifer was wrong about what she's doing, but Teresa was right there. Teresa met with the friend too.
That's what I was thinking. That's well, who else messed with the friend? Just that's what I said.
But they so scared of Teresa. It's crazy to me that they would,
because she's the HBC.
Exactly.
And they're probably afraid that, oh my God, if we go at Teresa, we may not have a job.
Mm-hmm.
Teresa look at the person like, Andy, I don't like her. You gotta get a fight, or I'm quitting the show. She looks like those type of people. If I don't like you, you're out of the show. Some people maybe can't get out, like maybe Melissa, because they need that storyline. But any other person, I think Teresa may have some pull in getting them out.
Maybe I'm guessing maybe that is why they kissing her ass. Like probably because she does hold a lot of weight on that show.
Exactly. So you have to be very careful of coming after Teresa, because if she doesn't like you, she looks like she won't want you on the show, and they know right now they need the show. So I can see why. Oh my goodness, the camera. So the women go back and forth. Marge goes back and forth with Jennifer, and eventually it goes to Dolores and Jennifer start a whole argument again. What do you think about that?
Dolores is in her happy place. She don't got time for Jennifer's needy behind, wanting apologies. She wants this validation from Dolores that Dolores just does not give a damn. Dolores is in love. She just is kind of like, dusting her off. Like it's kind of like she's like dust, like a tick to Dolores. Like Jennifer's a little tick that it's like you kind of just want to get out of here. Like, and Jennifer's not picking up the cues. Like, leave Dolores alone. Let it be. Like, let Dolores be. Leave her alone.
Yeah, she wasn't even talking about her. So then, for some reason, it starts out it was like from one argument to another. Then it was an argument between Jennifer with Teresa and Melissa regarding the seating. Teresa thought it was an accident, and Melissa think it was purposely done for an event where Melissa and Joey wasn't sitting at the same table with Teresa, the family table.
Yeah, I don't know why Teresa's lying about this whole like seating issue, because she did speak about it, but like at the reunion last season. Like I do believe Melissa. Like Teresa's trying to make it seem like her brother and Melissa chose to sit at a different table. Chose to sit at a different table, which I don't believe they did. Of course, like they're gonna go by what the seating arrangement was, and I believe that Teresa did. I don't know if it was because, like I said, I don't think Teresa's that bright. Maybe she just messed up. The person who organized it might have messed up the seating, but just say that. I just think Teresa's trying so hard to make them seem like the bad guys, and I hate when people do that. Like if you did something and it was a mistake, whatever it was, even if it was you did it voluntarily, like admit to it. Like be accountable for it. Like, don't sit here and try to manipulate it and make it seem like I sat at the table on my own and I got up and sat somewhere else that I didn't belong. Like, stop. Like, I don't believe Teresa.
I don't believe her either. In that case, they wouldn't even go to the event.
Yeah, I believe that she did. And it's so funny how now she's saying like they chose to sit at a different table. You wasn't saying that at the reunion. Teresa did not say that at the reunion. It was kind of like, I forgot what her response was, but this is like new. This is like new information where she's like, oh, they chose to sit at this table, at another table. They did it on their own. Like, this is new information, like that she didn't mention last season at the reunion.
Yeah, I believe Melissa, and I also could tell that Melissa was very hurt about the whole thing and very hurt that Teresa's lying about it. So I do believe Melissa. I think Teresa is lying about the whole
Yeah,
thing.
imagine going to like your sibling's wedding or somebody close to you and they have you at a table with like non-family members and
That's what she
that's
said,
your
like,
brother.
the hairstylist, like she mentioned random people.
Oh my gosh.
I would have left.
You would have left?
I would have left. I wouldn't even stay.
I probably would have too, because to me, that would have solidified things for me. Like, you really are trying to send a message to me, and I need to pick up on your message. Like, you just don't want me here. You don't want to be around me, and you trying to, like, black sheep me out of here.
And it's embarrassing because everybody there would see that too.
Yeah, I wouldn't have stayed. Like you said, I probably would have thought about it. And I don't know. I think Melissa tries to be like the bigger person because at the end of the day, that is his sister. So you kind of don't want to get in the middle of that where he's thinking like you might be the driving force behind the situation. So and I think Melissa did that for a while. And she said that, actually said that on her podcast, that for a while she's been like trying to be the mediator, trying to bring them closer together. And I do believe Melissa in that instance. She is trying to bring them closer together. But I think at this point, she's just throwing in the towel. She's like, I don't give a damn. If y'all don't want to be close, I'm not going to do nothing to facilitate anything. Just stay apart. And let's do this. And I think at this point, she is having her husband's back. Like, you don't deserve this kind of treatment. And I wouldn't want my husband either to be mistreated by his siblings. At that point, I would let him know, like, listen, enough is enough.
Yeah, I agree. I think at a point, you have to step up for your husband and be by his side and be like, Teresa. Because do they really need Teresa? I don't think so.
They definitely don't, but I believe, I just know that they grew up very close, and I just think it's very hurtful.
Yeah. So that was that. That was the end of that episode. And
what's happening?
Nothing much. Just one argument after the other.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that they kind of like zero in on some of the new cast members. I think Jackie's going to make an appearance next scene. Jackie is a friend now of the show. She was a housewife last season. So I'm just hoping because I just feel like they kind of like, it's the same issues resurfacing. Jennifer and Dolores, Melissa and Teresa and her brother. Like, it's like the same issues again. So I kind of want to see like more of Teresa and her new husband Louis and them navigating their relationship. Let's see what Louis is about. Is he a scammer? Is he a wife beater or whatever they was calling him? Or he got restraining orders on him. He seemed to be like, we need to know more about new stuff that's going on, not old stuff. Focus more on the new. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Me too. I'm looking forward to see who else I don't like and who else I do like. So watch our next episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, click the notification button when we go live. We'll put the link below. So follow us on Facebook and TikTok, and stay tuned for our next video next week. We'll go live again to talk about episode 3.
Toodles. See you then.
Bye.